look at my first graph, what did we pick our first graph to?
0, 1.
Okay. We found that because the y-intercept is at 1, and then what is our slope?
M equals 1/2.
0, 1 equals 2.
2.
Oh, just kidding. Sorry. Sorry, I looked at the wrong one.
Let's look at the second one. What is the y-intercept? Negative 2. What is the slope?
Negative
1.5. Okay, how did you get negative 1.5?
You could find negative.
So we went down how far?
2. I think 2.
What's your next point of intercept? I'm throwing this out there.
You go up 1 and over 2.
You can't go up because it's negative. You go down 1.
We know what I got the right answer.
Right. Down how far?
2.
Minus 2. If I go down 2, 1, 2. Is that right? And I'll walk over 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to get that corner. I can't see very well, is that it? Okay. I want to get the corner. It has to pass right in that corner of those squares, okay? So I went down 2 over 4, and if I simplify that, I get negative 1/2, okay? All right, and then this one we did in class. What was the y-intercept?
0.
Okay. Is this crossing at 1/2? And then what is our slope? What did we say?
Negative 1. Oh, I got that one.
We know you guys, there's too much extra chatter going on. I know that it's going to be a negative slope because our line is going down, right? It's going down. And then our last, obviously, it would be, our intercept would be negative 1 because it's crossing at negative 1 for the y-axis. And then, am I going up or down to get my rise over run? Up 1 and over 2. 1, 2. Okay? And that would match, where am I? Here. So our slope would be 1/2. Okay, so what I want you guys to make note of is when I do my rise over run for my slope, the rise, it's either going up or down, depending on your graph. So if you're looking at your line is either going up or it's going down. So if your graph is going up, your rise is going to go up. You're going to count up. Now, your run is always to the right. You're not going to rise left. You're going to rise, your run is, I'm getting them confused. Your run is always to the right. Okay? So that means I'm running to the right, I'm not running to the left. And this is the reason why I show you is because if I know that this is a positive graph and I wanted to find my rise over run, I would rise up however far, okay? And then if I decided, well, I'm going to run left, going this way, that's not even on my graph, right? I know I have to go to the right. Even here, if I'm looking at this and I know that I have to go down, stop at the dice. I know I have to go down because it's a negative slope, okay, and I have to go over to the right. If I decide to go down and over to the left, it's not going to be on my line. Some of you guys are making the mistake of rising up and then over or something like that to make that, I don't know what you're doing. But this is your run, not your rise. So we rise first, then we run to the right, okay? So this is just some extra, to help you out. At the bottom of the page, we need to describe our process. So to get our slope, we did our rise over run, where we went up or down, up or down, then right. Okay? That's an E, then right. T-N. What? Okay? That's how we're finding our slope. Flip your papers over. So I didn't give this to you guys for homework because you guys need more practice figuring out what does it mean to have a y-intercept and what does slope mean to us and what's happening to our equations if we graph them. Okay, so I have a couple riddles for you. We're going to use the clues to determine the answer to each riddle. Choose your answers from the equation bank. So here's the first riddle. I'm going to walk you through it, but I'm not going to give you an answer. Now, 5th period actually got the wrong answer. We kind of got stuck, and I wasn't able to explain very well what was actually happening. So we are going to reiterate it today during 6th period. We're going to put this recording up on Edmodo, and then we will probably revisit it tomorrow. Okay. So here's our first riddle. I am a linear equation in standard form. What does that mean? What is our equation going to look like? AX plus BY equals C. And which of these equations in our equation bank gives us X plus Y equals C? So then we've got this one, we've got this one, and I think there's one more right here. So I at least have narrowed my selection down to 4 equations. Then I'm going to use my next clue. My graph crosses the y-axis at 4. How do I determine if or when my graph is crossing the y-axis? What does that mean for x? X has to equal what?
0.
X has to equal 0, so I got to go through and eliminate it, figure out which one of these equals 4 when x equals 0. Okay? And you're going to have to look at if my x value increases by 2, is my y value going to increase by 1? This is the part we kind of got stuck on, okay? If you can figure it out, that's awesome. We're going to explain that to the class. If you're done with this, you're going to move on to riddle number 2, and I'm going to come around and help you guys out. What is the answer to riddle 1?
X minus 2y is negative 8.
Anybody get something different than that?
No, but I'd love to.
Who got 2x
Plus y equals 1.
Okay. Okay, so if I use 2x plus y equals 4, and how do I determine if it's actually going to cross the y-axis at 4? What do I have to do with my
Plug
x?
0 in.
Plug 0 in, and then y equals 4, so that's true for that graph, okay? Then I have to figure out if my x value increases by 2, does my y value increase by 1? Well, we plugged 0 in for x, so let's plug 2 in for x. Okay, plus y equals 4. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus y equals 4. And then I got to subtract 4 on both sides to figure out what y is. Y equals 0. Did it increase by 1 if we went from 4 to 0? No, that cannot be the equation. So our equation would be what? So we gave me the correct
X
answer.
minus 2y equals negative 8.
Good. X minus 2y equals negative 8. What? That's supposed to be equal sign. Hold on. X minus 2y equals negative 8. That means if I plug 0 in for x, I get a y. Alexis,
Sorry, Miss Skinner.
if I plug 0 in for x, I get a y-intercept of 4. And if I were to increase my x value by 2, I would have 2 minus 2y equals negative 8. And then I would, subtract 2 on both sides. Negative 8 minus 2 is negative 10. And then I would divide, Then I would divide by negative 2 on both sides. So y would equal 5. So I went from a y-intercept of 4 to a y-intercept of 5 and increased by 1. Okay, good. And then let's look at this one. Let me erase this. All right, what's your answer to riddle 2? What'd you guys get? Did you get anything? Y equals x minus 3? Okay. You guys, please stop the extra talking. I am in slope-intercept form. So that means I'm either looking at this one, I'm looking at this one, no, sorry. I'm looking at this one, I'm looking at this one, and then I'm looking at this one. And we've done this, we've eliminated this, we've eliminated this, because the first brittle was standard form, now we're looking at slope-intercept form, okay? I'm in slope-intercept form. My graph passes through the point -2, 1, and my graph crosses the y-axis below the x-axis. I kind of just want to focus on this here in a minute. But first, let's figure out, is my graph crossing the y-axis below the x-axis? What does that mean? What our intercept has to be what?
The y is negative.
The y-intercept has to be negative, so I'm going to look up here and figure out which one of these can I eliminate. Which one gives me a y-intercept? Y equals -2, so that's not it, okay? Then I'm going to kind of narrow it down and look at which one of these will give me a graph that is passing the point -2, 1. So algebraically, I can actually solve y equals negative, I'm going to choose the first one, -3 times -2 minus 2. I'm just going through the process. That would give me y equals 6 minus 2. But y is not 4 here. Y is 1. Now let's look at this. Y equals -2 minus 3. What's -2 minus 3? -2 minus 3 is -5. Does that -5 match our 1? Did you guys give me the wrong answer? So it's not this one. It's not this one. Let's get our eraser and erase what we did, because it's not right. Okay. Now we've got what left? The only other answer that's left, right? So our answer should actually be y equals -2x minus 3. Okay? That means if I were to plug -2 in for x, my y should equal 1. -2 times -2 is 4, and 4 minus 3 equals 1. Yay. Okay? So choose one of the equations that was not an answer to this riddle. Write your own riddle for that equation. Don't worry about that. Okay?
Yes.
You guys will be here all day trying to figure that out. Okay, get out the linear land game. You guys want to pass out some purple cards? Okay, somebody draw a card and give me the coordinate point and slope.
-1, 3. M equals 3, M equals 2, or M equals
So choose a slope for me. M equals 2. Okay. I know I have y equals mx plus b. I don't know what my y-intercept is. I have to figure that out. And that's why you guys have graph paper, so you can graph it. So I'm going to draw my graph on my grid. I have an x and y axis. And I'm going to go ahead and plot my point. It's -1, 3. So we walk over to -1, we go up 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's my point. My slope is 2. What does that mean? What is my rise over run?
Negative.
It's positive. I go up 2 and over
1. Sorry. Or
up 2 and over 1, because it's a whole number. I can write it as a fraction as 2 over 1. So I can go up 2, 1, 2 over 1. I can stop right there. I already have my y-intercept. Okay? Now, some of you are going to have to keep going. And some of you are going to have to go up. So let me show you. If I go up and I get to my y-intercept, that's fine. But what happens if your graph is going this way and you're plotting down here? Then you need to work backwards. So what if I wanted to work backwards? I would go down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. Okay? I need to make sure that my dots are in a row. Don't do what they did last year. They decided they're going to go down 2 over 1 this way. That's not a graph. That's not a linear. Don't do that. Okay. So now I know what my intercept is. And I got a graph going. What is my y-intercept? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to write y equals 2x. Is it +5 or -5? There's my equation. Now you're going to look on your answer bank. Where is y equals 2x plus 5?
5.
It says move 5, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so then you would take your game piece and you would move it 5 places. Okay? Does this make sense? We come around and help you guys as you're going, but this is what we're doing for the rest of class. So this is really good graphing practice for you with slope intercept.